Hello everyone. We are unfortunately back with round 2 of Pests Under the Microscope. We were about to record a fun video with a microscope, shooting random things around the orchid room, but since we had the microscope out, I kinda wanted to check something out. We'd been noticing lately that our flowers haven't been lasting as much as in previous years. We chalked it off to the result of a heat wave we had, but when I noticed a phal with some strange markings on the flowers, I was afraid of pests. The other day, when we were recording footage for our shorter update video, I also noticed some damage on the new leaf on Phalaenopsis equestris. So I thought it was time to go hunting for pests. In the space of just a few days, the equestris was looking much worse. And as soon as we put the microscope to it, there it was, staring us right in the face. Between the long body shape and the damaged flowers, we immediately thought thrips. But we had no experience with these bugs, only heard about them. We were able to remove one for a closer inspection, and it also helped that this one kinda decided to give up on life and stood still. It's definitely thrips. We vaguely knew that they attack the flowers on orchids, and after some quick research, we discovered that they suck the juices of the plants on tender parts, which explains why the new leaf on the equestris was so affected. In the same plant, we also found some in the earlier stages of life, explaining why some of them have a lighter color. Now that we had the culprit confirmed, it was time to see how far the infestation went. The previous day I had noticed that our Gastrocylus was looking a little worse for wear too. It makes sense thinking about it now. They were all huddled together with the equestris while I was filming the shorter update video. While trying to film the affected part on the keiki, unfortunately we broke it off. But you know, make lemons out of lemonade, so we used the broken off part to film them properly. Because these suckers hide in the crevices and it's really hard to get a good look at them. And there's another young one. I swear these plants looked clean and healthy just a few days ago. Next, we picked up a Phalaenopsis that sits right next to the equestris on the shelves. And the damage it already has, it's a lot. Because it's so in the back of the shelf, we didn't notice, but this one has the newest leaf all destroyed. The edges even look burned off. At first, under the microscope, we thought maybe this one didn't have thrips anymore. But then caught a glimpse of the folds of the leaves, and there they are. It was so frustrating to find the plants in this condition. If that wasn't bad enough so far, I caught a glimpse of this lily out of the corner of my eye, and I swear I found this bud yesterday night, and it looked great, and now it looks terrible. You can even see the thrips on camera, albeit a little out of focus. I tried to remove the bud, because at this point it's not like we're going to get a beautiful flower out of it. And one of them even climbed on my finger. I usually try to respect all living creatures, but I may have wished eternal pain and suffering to all thrips in that exact moment. Turns out, we didn't need to remove the bud to film how horribly infested it was. We couldn't find any thrips on the first plant we saw with damaged flowers, so we started to check the ones around her. As you can see, the Flores rose has some damage in the flowers. They look burned off in the edge, and there's some scarring with a weird sheen to it. And of course, there's thrips there as well. The fact that this plant was fine a short while ago while we filmed it, and how visible the thrips are against the white background, really confirms to us that all this damage was done in a short amount of time. Other phals, like our fairy tale joy, also have what we now learned is the typical thrip damage on orchid flowers, that shiny, lightning-shaped scarring. And again, in the folds of the leaves, we have a really big adult one. Even our Leodoro, that we had taken down to the living room to enjoy the flowers, was covered in them. And had the same markings on the flowers. We have 170 orchids, so we obviously couldn't go through all of them in the microscope. And at this point, we decided that at this rate, we might as well treat our entire collection. According to some articles, the insecticide we have on hand, which is based on abamectin, works well on thrips. This particular brand also adds pyrethins to the mix, a more natural insecticide that is supposed to help with thrips as well. So we applied it to the entire collection. Their life cycle makes thrips very hard to eradicate, since their egg and pupae stages hide in the substrate, and eggs aren't affected by insecticides. For this reason, some people recommend weekly treatments to make sure you get all generations.
Three weeks later.
After a couple of weekly applications, we checked with the microscope again, and the little suckers are still there. At least in the most affected plants. The Phalaenopsis, and the big Aerides. The big Vanda is particularly hard. It has a lot of growing keikis, and the young leaves stick together, and I think the insecticide doesn't get in. For the next application of insecticide, we're thinking of buying another one that is also commonly available here in garden centers. This one has the advantage of also being systemic, which means it's absorbed by the plant, so we don't have to rely solely on direct contact with the bug. If none of these treatments work, we'll have to research where to get stronger stuff, because most of what's recommended in American resources is not readily available here in Europe. We were also planning a little spring cleaning in the orchid room anyways, so we might just clean the orchids as well with a soapy solution. It might help keep any thrips at bay too. We hope there's no further updates on this video, because it means we got rid of the infestation. But if you want any other type of video relating to this subject, let us know. You can also leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos from us, or at this point, just to cheer us up. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.